hint of his Louisiana dialect slipping into his baritone voice. "I apologize," Ratigan replied, "but this is highly prejudicial." Barnes again raised his hand, this time with the index finger extended. "Unless you're going to tell me that your client has transformed himself into Rosa Parks and has been asked to sit in the back of an Alabama bus, I don't think it's possible for him to have suffered any further prejudice than you've already opined during this 3-hour trial." Ratigan's face flushed, but for once she had the good sense to remain silent. "Now," Barnes said, slowly turning his attention to Donley. "Who is this surprise witness, Mr. Donley?" Donley steeled himself. "The plaintiff wishes to call Albert to the stand?" The reading glasses that had been perched on the bridge of Judge Barnes's nose fell, dangling by a chain. "Say what?" Barnes asked. "I know this request is unusual." "Unusual?" Barnes drew out the word, like a worked-up Southern Baptist preacher. "Unusual? Mr. Donley, you just asked me to call a bird to the witness stand." "Actually, Judge, Alfred is an African gray parrot." "I know what he is, Mr. Donley, and if I recall from my simple Southern education, I do believe a parrot is a bird." "What I mean," Donley continued, "is that, well, being a parrot, Albert is, for lack of a better word, he is able to parrot back certain phrases he's been taught or has learned on his own." Though Barnes's brow remained furrowed, his expression of disgust softened, and his eyebrows rose. Was it curiosity? At least he hadn't rejected the idea outright, or directed the bailiff to put Donley in handcuffs for contempt. "And you intend to put you intend to put the bird on my witness stand and have it mimic a phrase it has been taught?" Every day, when Mr. Russo left his apartment, he turned on the television to keep Albert company. Russo nodded like a bobblehead doll. "And it seems that Albert picked up an ability to mimic something he heard." Ratigan furiously flipped the pages of her Code of Civil Procedure book. "Your Honor, we object. This is a bird. Only people can testify." "You found that in the code, did you?" Barnes asked. Ratigan lifted her head. "Well, no. But I mean, it has to be in here, somewhere. I mean, this is a bird." "Actually, there is precedent for introducing animals as evidence." Donley snapped open his black binder and pulled out a short brief he'd typed up late the previous evening, but had hoped to never use. He handed one copy to Ratigan and a second to Judge Barnes's clerk, who provided it to the judge. "The court will take particular note of the Connecticut case Adams v. Martin, in which Barney, the dancing terrier, was allowed to demonstrate a unique ability to juggle red rubber balls." "Your Honor, that is not the same thing," Ratigan whined. "We're talking about letting a bird testify, not demonstrate a trick." Donley lowered the brief. "I mean no disrespect to this court, but the most important thing here, the equitable thing, is to determine Albert's rightful owner. Allowing Albert to take the witness stand will conclusively prove either he is or is not the same bird that has lived with Victor Russo for more than 5 years." Barnes sighed. "What exactly is the phrase you contend this bird will mimic, Mr. Donley?" "It's not exactly a phrase, Judge." "Then what is it?" It's a show tune." Barnes leaned forward, now considering Donley out of one squinted eye. "A show tune?" "Apparently Albert is particularly fond of the Andy Griffith Show and—" "Andy Griffith?" "Yes, Your Honor, you know, Mayberry RFD. Andy and Barney, Opie, Aunt Bee. I know the show, Mr. Donley. I raised 3 kids of my own and have 7 grandchildren." "Right. Well, apparently Albert picked up the ability to whistle the show's opening tune." And with that, Donley put aside what little dignity he retained and whistled the tune to the Andy Griffith Show. Barnes sat back, lips pursed, running a hand over his bald head for what seemed an eternity.